We all know Kelvin Kiptum since his performance last year in the Valencia marathon, where he ran an insane debut time. Namely on December 4, 2022, he set the 4th fastest time on the world all-time list in a time of 2:01:53, becoming only the 3rd man in history to break the 2:02 barrier. Of course, we all saw what happened last weekend in the London Marathon as well, where he almost took the world record and missed it only by 16 seconds in the 2nd fastest time in history of 2:01:25 and a course record. But why do we know so little about Kelvin? How is it possible to stay under the radar since December last year, while he will probably soon be the fastest marathon runner so far? Of course, he is still young and only 23 years of age, but in this video I will explain a bit more who Kelvin Kiptum is and why we know so little about him so far. Also, I will explain why he was already in world record breaking shape in London. Well, let's zoom first in on his running career. It's not easy to find a lot of information about Kelvin Kiptum. When we dive into the Wikipedia page, the page was only posted the day after his great victory at the Valencia marathon. Also on his Instagram account, we see only 4 posts of this guy. But maybe he's just not that much into social media, which is probably a good thing, because he can focus more on his training. When we dive into his past result, it becomes clear his first serious win was back in 2018, when he was only 18 years old yet. Here it becomes clear he has a lot of talent, because he was able to win the Eldoret half marathon at this age. This is a big event where hundreds of Kenyan athletes try to prove themselves. The women's race, for example, was won by former world record holder in the 10k and half marathon, Jocelyn Jepkosgei. In the article I found about this Eldoret half marathon, it was stated that Kelvin also participated in 2014 in the race, so he was already competing at an age of 14 in the half marathon distance. So he already banked quite some years of running experience. And well, after his victory in 2018, he was known in the Kenyan running scene and could start to run his first European races next year. It's important to understand that it's very competitive to get into European races for Kenyan runners. Most Kenyan runners who make it to European competition are already at a world-class level and make their living of running. Kenyans or African runners in general, running is literally also a way of making good money and a way to success. This is also one of the reasons why we see so many Kenyan doping cases, namely 66 professional Kenyan athletes at the moment banned for doping use. But I don't want to make any accusations, of course, on Kelvin Kiptum. Well, look at his past results. He had a few wins, but never in real big events. Like I mentioned, he started to run internationally in 2019. His first victory was at the Lyon-Montbéliard to Belfort half marathon in a time of 95:53. What's remarkable is that he now even runs faster in the second half of his marathon. Also, he was second in the 10k of my hometown, a race I'm also aiming for a 30-minute 10k and a podium place this year. Later in 2022, he had 2 proper half marathon results at the City per City run in The Hague in the Netherlands, a 2nd place, and a half marathon PB in Valencia, namely 85:42. In 2021, there was no real improvement in his half marathon times, but he won the La Route du Louvre marathon in a time of 95:35. So nothing really remarkable happened until he made the switch to the marathon in 2022, where he seems to be superb in running splits close to his half marathon times. Some famous African athletes start racing at the track and compete in Diamond League races or even in the Olympics, looking for example to athletes like Eliud Kipchoge or Kenenisa Bekele. But those guys had remarkable talent already from a young age. Maybe Kelvin was not good enough or not selected as a talent when he was young. More African runners start racing on the roads and end up running half marathons or marathons to make a living. Some other interesting stuff I found about Kelvin is that he was born in the town of Eldoret. This is near Eton, where many athletes train, and also near Kaptagat, Eli's training ground. He also said he got inspired there he saw Jeffrey Kamara run over the dirt roads. Kiptum grew up in a family of athletes and was exposed to the sport from a young age. And he was sponsored by Nike since his international career, in 2019 or maybe 2020. so also already a couple of years now. After the Valencia Marathon, they asked him who he was coached by. He responded he has no coach and it's unclear if he's training with others.
I usually train alone. I don't have a coach.
Well, why will this guy break the world record, in my opinion, pretty soon? What's insane about his last 2 marathons is that he's able to perform an incredible second half marathon split. In Valencia, he already put down the fastest second half in a half marathon time of 60:15. In London, he was even 30 seconds faster in the second half, namely 95:45. Probably when the race is paced just 30 seconds faster in the first half, on a good day he will break Kipchoge's record. Well, that's it about Mr. Kiptum for today. I was not able to get more information about him at this point. If you missed some interesting detail or interview from this man, let us know down in the comments. It will be interesting to see what he is capable of in his next marathon. And as always, if you still go out there today, have fun and get on the run.